In this video, we're going to examine the workflow John Piper's Ask Questions. Therefore, let's go to the main menu, click Guides, type in Piper in the search box as seen here, then locate Workflows and click on John Piper's Ask Questions method. Let's go ahead and expand this to the right so we can fill up our whole window with it. Now, John Piper's Ask Questions method is a very straightforward but simplistic beginning to interact with the text. So let's go ahead and put in a passage. We'll do our John 3:16 passage again. Once you see the drop-down menu with the red banner for John 3:16, go ahead and click it. I'm going to float my mouse between the two windows and drag it to the right so we can see the full steps. Let's click on the first step, Ask About Words. As you can see, John Piper is beginning with, what does the text actually say? And Logos will give you some tools to help you do some word studies and see what the commentators say about the word. Then the next step is to move from the word level to the phrase level. This is really where words begin to form initial ideas. But a phrase by itself is part of a greater structure. And that leads us to step number 3, ask about relationships between propositions. This is probably the most significant part in the John Piper's Ask Questions methodology, because what you're doing here is trying to look at the argument level. So now that you've studied the words and phrases, now you're seeing how they're all connected to make major arguments or major statements. And John Piper gives you a few helps to help you see that. For example, phrases, words like but, if, and, therefore, in order to, that, and because. Once you've identified and understand the words, phrases, and the propositions, now we're going to focus on the greater context. Context is how we determine what the meaning means in the passage we're studying. A word can change in meaning from passage to passage. So this is really how we determine what a word means when we take into account the words, the phrases, and the propositions. Once you've done that and you understand your passage, the 5th step, ask about connections with other parts in the Bible. This is to see how other scriptures can illuminate our understanding of the current passage we're studying. Sometimes passages literally repeat the idea. Others will add additional insights and will complement the passage. And that's why Logos gives you this section of cross-references here. Then we come to step 6, which is very similar to the inductive Bible study method. After you've observed and interpreted, now it's time to apply the text. And that's exactly what this is for. Notice, though, Logos did add a concordance search to see if there's any literal commands in the text, and that can be very helpful. This last step, ask about affections, is really key, and I like this about this particular methodology. See, if we focus on just step 6, application, we're really speaking about the external person, what you do. But affections gets at how you think, and the two are directly related. How you think is how you're going to behave. So this last step is to help you reflect on the way you think and why you think, and then hopefully through the text, have your thinking change to be more biblical. This is where you cultivate convictions. Well, take advantage of John Piper's Ask Questions method to become familiar how to interact with the text in this similar to inductive Bible study methodology.